And we're just now going to hear from Vikki Lax, who's been launching, along with lots of other of us, a Primark campaign. And then we'll get all the panelists back on and we can hear a few more words from them. So thanks very much for coming, Vikki. And if you maybe tell us about the campaign, how it's going.
I guess it feels really sobering, if I can just say this, having just listened to Susan talking. I've tried to walk personally a line, but I don't think I can anymore. And we need to be really clear. When we started, or when I started, the work I wanted to do to drive the change that I wanted around Primark, it was around predatory men in what are mixed sex changing rooms. But let's have absolutely no doubt that the Scottish government would support, and Primark would support, an individual like Katie Dolotowski, a pedophile sex offender, going into a space in any Primark in this country with women and girls in a state of undress, and that isn't okay. So it feels very sobering, I think, to follow on from Susan, and huge solidarity to the women in Scotland. I guess it's also fair to say that the action we've taken today has been supported unstintingly by Women's Declaration International, by Jo and Bernadette, by the Northern Radfem Network, by Locals for Women, and by Standing for Women. And for them, I am hugely grateful, as well as the many women across Scotland who've supported this today. What we are seeking to do is to ask Primark to reinstate single-sex spaces. Be in absolutely no doubt, it is beyond doubt now that their definition of women is based on gender identity. I've sat with the top team in the UK and they've confirmed it to me. We've stood in my own local Primark and they've agreed it. So if a man identifies as a woman, he will be allowed in, no questions asked. Primark are well aware, as are their parent company, of the lengths that predatory men go to access women and girls. It's happened in their changing rooms, it's happened in their stores. We aren't suggesting, we're very clear on what the evidence is and what the evidence isn't, and there's a lot of work going on. But women today across the UK have joined together in an action that started at midday to talk to people shopping in Primark, to make people aware of exactly what Primark's policy is. And the response that we've had on social media has been fantastic, and the response that women have had from the people that they've talked to has also, I think, reaffirmed our belief that we are not a minority. People don't know what's going on. So I guess we need to take some time to reflect on that in the UK. What will be coming out with, again, fantastic support from WDI, is that we'd like to understand what's happening in the other countries that Primark operate in. I've actually been contacted by somebody in the States today, I believe Chicago, with pretty much the same the same set of circumstances that we're finding in the UK. So, we're joining together. I think the contact details for myself are provided fairly regularly by Jo, which again, I'm hugely grateful for. But, thank you to everyone who's taken part today. All of our lives are really busy, but 2 weeks ago, 3 12-year-old girls in Scotland were fooled by a sign that said women into going into what they thought was a single-sex changing room, and they tried clothes on. It was a mixed sex space. I've raised that concern with Primark and Associated British Foods. They haven't even had the courtesy to acknowledge it. I don't have children, but I remember my first shopping trip a Tammy girl, for those of us that are of a similar age and will remember that. And it was, it was a fabulous experience, and it is terrifying to know that these young women and girls are not consenting to being in a mixed sex space. They think it's a female only space. So more to follow. What's next? So in terms of immediate next steps, on Friday the 9th of December is the annual general meeting of Associated British Foods, and they are the owner of Primark. I'm a shareholder, so I am planning to go. I'm just waiting for my invite, and Standing for Women are taking some action there. I guess one of the things in terms of next steps is we need to keep the noise up on this. Not every woman can afford to boycott Primark. I sat on their earnings call, and we need to be really, really clear that one of the things that's driving their results at the moment is that lots of people, including women, are buying more items of clothing rather than putting their central heating on. We all have to make our own choices, and it isn't for me to tell any woman or indeed man what they should or shouldn't do, but write to them, tell them they've got contact forms. As I say, it's the AGM on Friday, so you know, keep your eye out for what's going on around that. We need to raise our voices globally, which really probably is the next thing, and to keep maintaining our position on this in the UK. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Let's keep going. Thank you.